Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show, where we discuss culture, news, politics, and more. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to tell your friends and family about the revolution. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to join me. I'm breaking today's show up into two different segments, so I hope so you can pick and choose what you want to listen to, what you want to learn about, and stuff like that. I prefer doing that anyways. Those of you listen to audio, I'm going to have two different segments today. Also, you can follow me on YouTube. I go live on there all the time. I'm about to go live there not too long from now for the press conference. And we also do call-in shows and stuff like that. So subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on there. I'm also on BitChute and Rumble. I'm going live on Rumble now. I paid the price to go live on Rumble, so follow me on Rumble. I almost prefer you to follow me on Rumble because you can support me better on there, and they just support creators more, and they obviously care about the creators and the freedom of speech, and that's important to me, and I think it's important to you, and that's what our last story is about anyways. It went from swollen balls to freedom of speech, but let's get in to what I think no one is talking about. Why is no one talking? I feel like I'm trying. Look at my hands. I feel like I'm Trump. No one's talking about it. Not a single thing. Fantastic. No one is talking about the border still. We have Afghanistan, we have COVID-19, we have Biden vaccination mandates, nurses quitting their jobs, ICU's getting full of COVID. We have crisis after crisis going on right now, and it feels that way. And whenever it feels that way, I always want to take a step back and just look at myself and make sure I'm not being hyperbolic, I'm not being hysterical, I'm not being over the top, I'm not losing my mind just to be a part of, just another media source who likes to just constantly talk about how we're all, we're literally living in hell. We're all going to die in 2 days. It's just the same thing with like the climate change stuff. It's like all these people are talking about climate change. We're going to die in 5 years. And then at the same time, they go and buy their beach home property, which makes literally no sense. But I don't want to be that kind of channel. I don't want to be that kind of person that just jumps on the bandwagon of hysteria because it's an easy sell. It's easy to get people riled up and follow your channel if all you do is hysterical stuff and not actually talk about stuff and have a logical conversation and not be okay with being proven wrong. I'm okay. If you guys disagree with me, fine, great. I don't care. Tell me why, and maybe I'll change my mind, or maybe we'll just have a conversation and we'll reach a stalemate and we'll still be friends. I'm okay with people following me that disagree with me. Imagine that concept. I don't like tribalism. I've always not liked tribalism. The minute somebody tells me I'm this way, I want to try to push myself and try to learn and try to be a better person and learn something different. If somebody says I'm blind in an issue on this, I want to grow in my knowledge to be able to have logical conversations with people. That's what I want. I don't care about tribalism. I don't care about my party. I just want good ideas, and I want those good ideas to have good outcomes. And if they don't, then that's another discussion. But we're seeing so much in today's culture anyways, is it's just like people are so entrenched in their ideas in their tribe that they can't see the other side of the fence because they refuse to even look. And you saw that more than ever with COVID. That's why people are hysterical about it. That's why people are so crazy about it, because they've made us so crazy by changing stuff, by moving stuff, by putting people on cams, putting this versus this. This is healthcare. This is not healthcare. Doctors shouldn't even treat people that don't even do this. Like, the media has created so much hysteria in people's hearts and minds that they are losing focus of how to have a decent conversation with one another about different views. I don't know why I said all that, because it has more to do with my second segment, but this segment, no, it has everything to do with everything. Right now, this is coming from Bill Melugin. He's a Fox News contributor. I call him the Ken doll of Fox News. He's a good-looking dude. I'm a straight male, and I'm going to say it. Dude's good-looking. But it's almost like you're too good-looking. You can't do on-the-field reporting. It's not allowed. Bill McLaughlin, breaking. Our drone is back from the International Bridge of Del Rio, Texas, per source. The number of migrants waiting to be processed has now swelled to approximately 8,200. It was 4,000 yesterday a.m., doubled in one day. BP overwhelmed, and I'm told the situation is out of control. Here's a little picture. Those of you that are listening, just imagine an overpass with swaths of people everywhere. And these are kids. These are adults. I'm sick of the narrative that it's just everything's going to be okay. These are just good people looking for a job. And that might be true. But if anyone knows anything about people, is that if you get a group together, 10%, 1%, 5% of those people are insane. And we don't even care. We're just letting people through our borders. We're not even checking for COVID-19. We're not forcing vaccinations on them, though, companies are forcing vaccinations. So, the double standards there. And there's a humanitarian crisis going. People are dying going across the border because of the heat. Kids are being left alone. You remember seeing those videos of children just being thrown over the walls and, children under 10 being left alone. There's rape and abuse reports being told out there, but no one gives a crap about that. All these people that care about human rights and talk about women's rights and stuff like that. Abortion is healthcare. What about this? What do you call this? What do you call this? I don't know. It's out of sight, out of mind. The reason why they don't care about these migrants crossing the border and creating this humanitarian crisis that has perpetuated all summer long, even the hottest months, and will continue to go, is because they know it won't affect them. The elites know that this is just good for them. This is cheap labor crossing the border, and they can do whatever they want with these people. They like it. It helps them maintain their power. It helps them maintain their jobs, their social status. None of these people are going to move into their private neighborhoods, go to their private schools where these kids are. Of course they don't care. Of course they don't bat an eye. So there's that side, and there's also just the humanitarian side of it, of just the horrors that are going on here. We have veterans. We have homeless veterans that are dying on the streets. And we have people who are addicted to opiates, meth, fentanyl, alcohol, all kinds of different drugs that are on the streets. And we don't do anything with them, but then we just allow this. And then there are more and more reports of fentanyl crossing the border and more drugs crossing the border. No one cares. No one even bats an eye. This isn't a main story. We're talking about Nicki Minaj. We're talking about AOC's dress. The real crises, the real issues in America, no one wants to talk about because why? It's a hard conversation. Instead, they want to just have these fun little silly conversations about somebody's tweets or somebody being canceled or somebody is a very a walking hypocrisy wearing a dress. No one wants to talk about the border. Everyone's just like, I don't know. Is it that big of a deal? Here's a video. Those of you that are watching. Those of you listening, you can hear the people under the bridge. There's trash everywhere. There's people everywhere. I'm not calling people trash, but there's literal trash. There's clothing everywhere. These people are in a cage underneath a bridge. Where's AOC crying about this? No, AOC's not crying about this. She's wearing dresses, eating $30,000 bills. Hey, she got that ticket for free. Therefore, it's okay. Post Millennial says, law enforcement source captures people arriving at the International Bridge of Del Rio, Texas this morning, waiting to cross into the United States. Just another day on the border. Another day where we're talking about some other catastrophe that this Biden administration is doing. We have Mark Milley going behind presidents' backs and the deep state just being stronger and nothing being happening. We have gates being put up around the Capitol right now because they assume another insurrection is going to happen on the 18th, which I'm assuming nothing's going to happen because I literally haven't heard anybody talk about going to it. Because why would you? seems like a false flag event anyways. It's like they want people to show up and then they'll like rile people up to hopefully do something. So the media has another story to talk about. Another of these white supremacists taking over the world. Blah, 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 blah. Afghanistan was a huge debacle. We have inflation rising to historic levels. Gas prices are up to 42% just in South Carolina alone. People are closing their eyes, closing their minds to what's going on. Real issues. This is a real issue. I don't know. Am I alone in this? Are you concerned about this at all? Do you hear politicians talking about this? Besides the ones that are deeply affected, like the ones in Texas? No. I can't stand these politicians that don't care about actual humanitarian crises, like the Americans that are still stuck in Afghanistan that we don't know the number to. You guys want to have socialized healthcare, really? You trust this government to be able to make great decisions? Give me one proposal on a government pushing through a piece of legislation, and I will give you a private sector that can do whatever they're doing 10 times better. Here's a story coming out of Fox 14. I think it's important to hear a local story because then it gives you a face to put with the stuff that's going on.
Record high apprehensions at the southern border continue, and one spot here in the borderland has become one of the busiest in the country when it comes to illegal crossings. In a KFOX 14 exclusive, reporter Holly Bach rode along with Border Patrol to see what the agency is doing to grapple with the growing numbers. She joins us live from the U.S.-Mexico border with that report. Holly.
Robert, this is the first time that we have been able to see firsthand what the conditions look like along the border for quite some time. That's because the agency suspended ride-alongs due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Right. They suspended ride-alongs due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Isn't that just freaking convenient? Hey, you can't see what's going on here because of the pandemic that we're just allowing to be spiked up just a bit. Having people cross the border unchecked and probably has COVID-19 because, the statistics don't lie. And not being, forced to have vaccinations. But we're so worried about the pandemic, we can't allow a journalist to do ride-alongs with me. There's no hypocrisy there. Just keep listening.
But now as the number of people arriving to the southern border continues to grow, agents on the ground are becoming overwhelmed.
Launch the bird. Yeah, 10-4, launch the bird.
Right now it looks like we have a helo who's got visual of some migrants who are crossing right here. Our numbers are looking to surpass, our record numbers in 2019.
This is the harsh reality Border Patrol agents face daily.
There's a group of 5 of them moving to the northeast.
¿Dónde eres? Oaxaca? ¿Cruzas solo? En el grupo.
During an exclusive ride-along with Border Patrol agents,
hey, wait, got a few more.
Our cameras captured the reality of illegal border crossings.
There's over 130 Border Patrol stations. This specific area, the Santa Teresa station, is in the top 3 or 4 for total apprehensions and encounters.
The Homeland Security chopper.
Yeah, I'm right on the hill after your tail.
Directing agents on the ground to the exact locations where migrants are running or in some cases hiding.
Manos arriba.
Head 10-4, we got visual. Maybe we'll cut them off.
Minutes later, and less than a mile away.
Do you guys have bodies?
We just had local citizens spot these migrants coming up out of here by the canal. 2 of them are from Ecuador and 1 of them's from Guatemala. Looks like they were maybe trying to change clothes right over here to get further in the United States. We're looking for 1 more, still outstanding.
While agents wait for backup, there is that possibility that other migrants are getting into the U.S. successfully.
No se muevas. Hey, más despacio. And so right now, we have to wait, for transport units. They're booked. There's multiple groups being worked right now. Cuidado. We do not have enough manpower on the border.
The El Paso sector is made up of 11 Border Patrol stations. Roughly 1,900 agents cover 264 miles of the border. The number of people that Border Patrol agents are encountering at the border is growing by the thousands daily, and new records are being set.
We have the highest number of accompanied children that we've ever seen on record. Over 18,700 this fiscal year. Fiscal year 2019, we had 16,000, about 150.
So there you go. There's some of like the faces of what's going on and the actual impact that some of these people are facing and the world. But yet we have an administration that doesn't care. That's not even talking about it. We have governors that haven't really continued to talk about it. Politicians. There's just so much going on, and people are so overloaded with what's going on in the world. And I don't know about you, but having a border like this, just millions upon millions of people crossing the border, and to think that it's not going to have any effect on your life or the lives of the American citizens is a joke. Or that these people crossing the border are they're just good, wholehearted people, nothing more. That's all. It's just statistically not true. Everything is an emotional plea these days. Everything is like, oh, if you say anything negative about this, you're a white supremacist, or some kind of stupid, illogical argument. As opposed to just calling this out and saying, you know what, this is an issue. This is a problem. This is something that we should fix. See, the left media never talks about this because they see this as like some kind of QAnon Trump supporting thing that only the racist white people care about. Really? Is that what it is? You don't think people in low income neighborhoods that work for jobs that aren't paid that much care about this too? Because if they don't, they will soon. And also the kids' trauma that they're experiencing, some of the young women crossing the border, the rape and sexual abuse allegations being pushed out. You guys don't care about that either? Sometimes, see, I'm a Christian. So obviously I care about the humanitarian side of things the most. More than political stances and stuff like that, or just my different tribal factions. So when I see this going on, when I see what's happening to women and children and just men and human beings too, you know, good people that are trying to cross, and just what's going on there, and just I always wonder, like, where are the churches? Where are the leaders that are speaking up about this stuff? They're more concerned about their messages for the weekend, their light shows, I wish more people who had a conscience and character spoke up about this stuff in these areas and tried to do something. Maybe churches could stand up and like feed these people or help these people. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below on the situation, because it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse as the Biden administration just allows this crap to happen. They don't even care. They don't even want journalists to even be involved in this. For the longest time, they didn't even allow them into facilities. Remember that at the beginning of the administration, when these people were in these cages, they were locked up in these inside facilities and smashed into a room. There's people sleeping in tinfoil burrito wrapper like things. This administration was completely silent, and they didn't allow people to go inside. I remember Ted Cruz sneaking into the facility to take video of it. What are you doing, man? I mean, what are we doing here? The political parties, politicians these days, I just don't get it. I don't understand you guys. All you guys are just your Instagram influencers. You want to have your little moments. You want to have your gotcha moments. You want to just talk crap to each other on Twitter, and you don't want to actually do anything that changes people's lives. You want to just come out with these irrational, crazy statements about the opposite aisle, and I'm just so tired of it. I'm so tired of the denial also from some of my friends who don't even look at this stuff. They don't even want to know. They don't even want to care. How can you not? There's real trauma. There's real people's lives. I mean, you're seeing videos like the Taliban just beating the crap out of women, putting them in their burqas. You're seeing men being flogged. You're seeing men being shoved into back of trunks of things, and you know they're not going to come back. There are real crazy things going on in the world, and we're more obsessed with our own lives, and it makes me sad. And we're more obsessed with Joe Rogan taking ivermectin, as the media calls it, horse dewormer, than we are about actual humanitarian crises. I fear for where our country is headed and just the mentality we're at right now, because soft times create weak men. And I'm not trying to be an alarmist, and I'm not trying to be hysterical, but I'm just calling out what I see. I just see real issues not being addressed on both sides of the aisle, and people just not even caring, not even batting an eye at some of this stuff. I mean, they have their little Me Too moment, but then there's Me Too happening all day across this border, and no one says anything that's a part of the Me Too movement. Get out of your tribal faction. Get out. Open your eyes. Look at reality. Look at the truth. Don't be so entrenched in your political party system that all you care about is the simple talking points. Talk about the real issues. Talk about the real things that affect human beings. I mean, inflation is up like crazy. And who does that affect? Not the rich, not the elites. That's why they're not talking about it. That's why they don't care. It affects you and me. It affects people that don't make that much money. It affects people with families. It affects people that drive for a living. It affects people that need to put food on the table. They don't care about that. And then the politicians that actually do care about you and me, they cast aside and call them crazy, insane things, and people believe it. Like Larry Elder, you had a guy that seems like a genuine dude from the streets of LA, lived and breathed, is not a political hierarchy, star child, Gavin Newsom, who looks like an evil character from a super bad movie. You had a guy that would actually talk and have a conversation. You had people in gorilla masks throwing things at him. And the media on the left was silent. Political parties were silent. I just don't. The things the media props up, some YouTubers, some people, it's just irresponsible. I'll just play it at that. My encouragement to you is to continue to dive deep into stories, learn stuff. Don't be afraid of talking about the real issues with people around you, because I think we have this society that just wants to take the easy way out in life all the time. I even see it in myself, and I'm speaking, like half of this stuff I say in my podcast, I'm just talking to myself. I just see us taking the easy way out. I don't want to talk about actual humanitarian crisis. I don't want to actually help people like this. I just want to talk about it. Or I don't even want to say anything at all. I just want to talk about the game. How's the game, bro? That's more important than women being raped at the border, children being left alone. Let me know your thoughts. We need a politician that cares and that can cut through the media and cut through the BS and is not afraid to take them on, but also shows compassion. And I don't think we'll ever have it, because I don't think the media will allow it. I don't think some of our political parties will even allow it, our tribal factions. I mean, if I was president right now, I'd be trying everything I could to get every American out of Afghanistan. I'd be sending, secret missions in to take people out. I'd be going down to the border myself and fixing the issue, whatever it took, whether it's building a wall to stop it, telling them not to come across, and saying we will process you in a better order. Because I'm all about, I love, immigrants. They're great people. I like legal ones. The ones that you process, you find out who they are. You find out they're not a gang member or something like that. You ask them their what's going on. Do you have any diseases? Why are you coming here? Are you just pregnant and you want to have a kid so the kid can stay? It's just like, what is going on? These politicians don't care because they don't want to actually address real issues like inflation or the debt ceiling. They don't want to talk about real things. They just want to have their little social media moments and go on late night talk shows, maybe SNL one day when they grow up. Have a great day. As always, I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show. My next episode is coming out soon too, so check that out. I love you. Gay. Bye.